Hey guys, Mike here, and today I'm reviewing the Butter by Ultra. This is a bag that most people either love it or they hate it. I definitely fall into one of those two categories. We'll leave a little suspense here, and I'll get to that. You'll as I go through the review, you'll quickly tell which side I'm on. We'll start with the design here. I typically love Ultra's designs. The Viper, the Widow, the Psycho. Those are all some of the best looking bags out there. However, Butter falls really short of those designs. I get it, it's called the Butter, so you have a stick of butter on there. I just don't feel like it fits with the other bags. And like I say, you see the Viper, you see the Widow, you see the Psycho, even they have the Vapor, they used to have the Cobra. All of those bags, I think, somewhat fit together, and then you've got this Butter over here that's more of a comedy bag, you know? It's almost like this was a joke bag. Someone threw some materials together to see if it worked. They slapped the name Butter on it, put a stick of butter, and then people liked it and like, oh, let's make this into a bag. It's fine, it's just not a great design. Backside, same look, it just has the stars on there for the slow side that Ultra uses on most of their bags. However, this bag, the materials are so different, you know right away what's the fast, what's the slow without even looking for the stars. As far as the bag itself, well, let's jump into the materials here. We'll start with the slow side here. This slow side is Ultra listed at a 4-speed, I believe. It's definitely a 4, kind of that 4 to 5, maybe a slow 5, maybe a mid to fast 4, depends on the condition. So anywhere in that 4 to 5 range. It feels a lot like the Surefire. So let me back up. It's the same material that the Viper B uses. Viper B is the exact same. Familiar with the Viper B, the Butter has the same material. If you're not, it's very similar to the Surefire. I was studying this for a while, trying to determine if it's the same. If it's not the same as the Surefire material, it is in the same material family. It's very close. It didn't look exactly like it, but a lot of the characteristics and traits remind me of the Surefire. So if you're familiar with Surefire, this is a good idea of what this bag feels like, similar to what it plays like on that slow side. The fast side is a very unique material that I don't know of many bags, but I'm not aware of on top of my head any other bag that uses it. I'm sure someone uses this material, but I just can't recall at the moment. But it's almost like a satiny finish. It feels like almost like parachute material. Yeah, or you know, I think of the 90s, we had the satin shirts, the satin button-up shirts we wore, you know, or that silk, maybe silk. Anyway, it's a very smooth material, which makes it crazy fast on the board. Ultra rates it at a 9-speed. It's definitely a 9, maybe even a 10. It plays faster than the speed rating though, because on a traditional bag, you take this Viper B, which is a 9 on the fast side, and you throw that, it's at a 9-speed. But as it goes up the board, the friction starts slowing it down. Eventually it gets up to the hole or to another bag, and it may be 5, 4-speed, you know, before it kind of drops, and it really does slow down. This stuff is so crazy fast and so slick and smooth. It hits, and it's a 9, maybe a 10 at the bottom. It gets the hole. It's still like an 8 or 9. I mean, it doesn't slow down much. It flies up the board. If you throw it fast side down, it's really hard to keep it on the board without either putting it in the hole. If you miss the hole, it's usually going off the back. It's really a slick side. Even in stickier conditions, I find it's still crazy fast. So you get to a stickier board, the slow side really slows down, and this fast side stays crazy fast. You would think that would be good. However, I want you to, and I'll get into this more in a moment, but as you're watching the videos, watch when I'm going to collect and I flip a bag over, watch how that push back, watch how that reacts. And I'll get more into that here in a moment as we talk about that. But so we're looking at a 4 to 5 slow side, 9 and 10 fast side on this bag. The template is that larger template that Ultra uses, kind of the same. It's basically the same as like a Viper. From with the Viper, it's that same larger template. The fill in here is a mixed fill like Ultra uses. However, now, preface this, I haven't opened this bag up, but I do feel like this bag, at least my set, there are more beads in here than say in a typical Viper. The Viper has a lot of flat disc with some beads I feel like mixed in. This has a lot more beads in there with almost like some discs mixed in. So I don't know if Ultra actually has a different fill for the Butter than say the Viper, or if it just so happens that my bags just turned out that way. I don't know. I haven't really played with that many Vipers to compare them, but I feel like there's more beads, but it is a mixed fill regardless. As far as the playability now, we'll go ahead and jump into that. This is a bag you're blocking and pushing with, right? With this slow side material, you're gonna throw a blocker up there, a larger template, it's taking up real estate. It does a great job of blocking. Now the problem, and I kind of referenced to that, is about watching the collect bag. Because this material is so fast and it doesn't slow down, when I was throwing that collect bag, I was having issues of this bag coming so fast and I would hit the blocker perfectly, but because it didn't slow down the way the board. It still hit it, and this bag wasn't moving quick. That the back bag would want it to kick off, spin around, even flop over. There were times where my collect bag, when I would go to collect, the collect bag would spin over, fall in the hole before the blocker did. There were times where it would hit, flip over, and end up on the back of the hole, and I would get this one in, but I would lose my collect bag, and I wasn't throwing the bag harder. I was just throwing a normal throw. You almost have to really finesse the bag to throw a collect, which is not a typical throw. It's really awkward to think about. It's hard in my mind to process. I got a block I want to collect. I want to throw it normal, a little harder, land a little deeper or something. I don't want to throw it softer, but if you throw a normal throw, there's a good chance this collect bag is going to kick or flop over. I mean, it's still, there were times I still did collect, but even like I said, when I collect sometimes, this bag was on top, like getting ready to go in or fall in before the block bag. Very unique. I don't know of other bags that really I have that issue with. It was just this one. So it made it frustrating when I threw that blocker. I didn't have as much confidence in collecting as I would say like a Viper B, you know, where you throw that blocker. I feel pretty confident that this fast side, I can throw it normally, even a little harder, and it's going to collect and still go in the hole. I don't really feel like it's going to kick off or flip over the back that I got with the butter. So all in all, it's fine. I mean, you can cut with this bag too. This low side is cuttable, so you can definitely play a cut left, right, right to left. You probably can flop and roll this bag. I didn't try it. But if you're definitely a flop roll bag type thrower, I think you can do that. This bag, you got a sticky enough stick side here. You got enough of a full enough fill here. I think you can make that work. So you have get around options, but for me, it just came down to the fact that I don't know what conditions I would be using this slick side, right? So most of my collects, I started going just sticky side. I would throw a sticky side up, and then I'd take the next sticky side and throw it harder or land it deeper and collect this way, as opposed to going with the slick side. I did find sometimes that this sticky side would kind of stick and hang on the hole a little bit, just because that's the nature of this slower material. It wasn't really a fault of the bag as much as the material sometimes would just get up there and just kind of stop and hang. Typically when I did that, it wasn't that hard to collect. The problem was again, I had to collect the slow side. If I went fast side to collect that, if you weren't dead on perfect, this bag was going to kick and fly off the back of the board and it was gone. So it became frustrating. All in all, I don't know when I would use this bag. Like if you're a butter bag thrower and you love the bag, let me know what it is about it you like or what conditions you use the bag in. Because for me, if I want a bag like this, I'm throwing the Viper B. Like this is basically the same slow side. It's a 9-speed fast side, but much more controllable. I don't know when I would use this over the Viper B, right? The other option I brought with me too was a deadhead. So if I want a 5-9 speed type bag, I would rather have a deadhead or a Viper B over the butter every time. So if there's something I'm missing, by all means, drop a comment, let me know. But all in all, I wasn't a fan of this bag. I think it's more of a gimmick bag. Now, I know there are people that love this bag and throw it all the time. And I'm not trying to knock you. If it fits your throw, it fits your style, great. Just let me know what it is. But for me, not a fan of it. I'd rather go with another option over this bag. So it's definitely something. I've had this bag for a bit. I've just never really brought it out and used it other than throwing, because I threw it in practice. I didn't like it, so why would I bring it out and throw it in a tournament or a game if I just don't enjoy throwing it, right? And when you don't enjoy throwing something, you lose confidence. When you lose the confidence, you're playing a little worse. There's a lot of mental. There's a big mental side to cornhole. And for me, it's confidence. If I have confidence that I can put this bag in the hole, there's a good chance going in. If I start doubting that, then I start overthinking. It's a lot like golf. You all of a sudden you start thinking about every little thing. You start thinking about the grip, the arm swing. Did I hit my leg? Did the wind kick up? You're starting to notice all these little things, and you're not able to just get in the zone and do it. When there's confidence throwing a bag, you're putting more bags in the hole. When you start second guessing and going, oh wait, if I flip it over, oh my gosh, I can't throw it too hard, but I gotta throw it hard enough. It's just it leads to too many doubts and inconsistencies. And that's what I found this bag was. I wasn't very consistent because I wasn't confident that I could put it in the hole. I wasn't confident that it was going to do what I wanted to do. And so that turns out to make it not very fun to throw, right? And therefore my score becomes lower. So all in all, it's a fine bag. Again, if you like the butter, let me know why. I don't like it. I wouldn't recommend it. Again, I would take the Viper B, the deadhead, somewhere along that range before I go with butter. So I really appreciate your support, guys. You're awesome. And I thank you so much for watching.